Hey everybody, greetings. We are in week 3. I'm in Lutsen, Minnesota. It's beautiful here right now. It's just been raining for 24 hours. It's finally cleared up. I spent that 24 hours basically reading everyone's stuff and appreciating everything that everyone's noticing as we learn about digital storytelling and documentary analysis, which have been just awesome so far. I've been so pleased with the quality of everything. Here's what we're up to this week. In weeks 1 and 2, we explored digital storytelling and documentary analysis. We also introduced the culminating assessments. This week, we're going to continue to analyze and evaluate professional and student documentary films as we gear up to create our own. And we'll cut our teeth with this reverse storyboarding exercise where I use a Mad Men clip to figure out how to look backwards and sketch out what we saw in a film. And we'll also write a synopsis of the culminating assessments. Watch this video. Watch 2 or more student short films and post to the learning team board. Watch 2 full-length films, post to the individual discussion board. Do the reverse storyboarding assignment and write your film synopsis and get and give peer feedback. First, we've got some sample student documentaries, numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7. You could watch all of them, or if your time is tight, just watch 2 or more. 2, 3, or 4, whatever you want to do. This one's kind of longer. It has some cool sketches that my student Mimi did on her iPad Pro, which most kids are not going to have. But if you have one-to-one iPads, as a couple of you in this course actually do, then it's really cool modality, a different way of doing the visuals. This next one's an amazing one from, it's a war era documentary from World War II. Really well done. My student did this just a couple months ago. You can check out his script, look at his focus, his intro, visuals, soundtrack, etc. This one is just kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of one. It's a little lighter. We've had a lot of heavy stuff so far at a time when everything is really heavy in society right now too, so that might be worth a look. Or there's this Isaiah Eby one here. I interviewed him and Harper Enneking Norton, whose stuff you watched before, for a video that we would look at next week. So you could look at this one or not, either way, but you'll be hearing from Isaiah on how he sees this medium working in school. There are discussion prompts here that are basically a straight line set up to get us thinking about how we do our own film. And then in 3B here, documentary number 3 and number 4, you'll watch 2 of these films here. There's 4 choices. American Factory is new and amazing. It just came out in October. I highly recommend it. Jim Crow of the North, if you haven't seen that, it's outstanding. It's just 1 hour long. It's by Daniel Bergen, who's actually working with St. Kate's now on the centennial of women's suffrage and doing a video there, a new film. That's pretty incredible about restrictive covenants. Damnation is really intriguing stuff. I'm a social studies teacher. I teach about sustainability in my 7th grade global issues course. And there is a movement now to undo all the dams that FDR and everyone who followed built. And that is made by Patagonia. It's different. It's weird. There's some bizarre protests in it in terms of like painting on the sides of dams in the middle of the night and risking one's life. So it's kind of off the beaten path, kind of counterculture. So I wanted to give a different flavor. I got that from a professor friend who's been using it for years and getting great responses. And then finally, if you're not exhausted of the emotional toll making a murderer takes on you as you read, even as I read through all the discussion posts and got totally caught up on them, I was like, oh my God, this just feels heavier each time I watch an episode or read about it. But it's still an amazing one by 2 women filmmakers who really made their name with that film. Finally, we'll finish with some reverse storyboarding. This will basically help us reverse engineer some great films and figure out like, okay, what were the structures that made that so good? And then how can we apply that in our own films? The directions are here, and here's the site that we'll use. There's a 2-minute clip here, and then you see what they did with it in giving this example. It's going to be really raw kind of pictures, nothing fancy, emphasis on like super rough. That's kind of the goal there, and that'll be a great exercise to dig into. Finally, you'll write your film synopsis in this shared Google Doc, and you could actually see some storyboards there to get a sense of what people's storyboards for their own films look like last time we did the course. And that's about it. I hope you have a great week. Give me a shout with any questions at all. And thanks for the great work this past week.